Hi, this is Winged. I'm going to share with you an experience I've had in another one. There's quite many to come still. But this is a specific one. This is the one where we discovered how AIDS really works. So this was the period where we were experimenting and testing the one-atom guards to see how the one-atom guards are able to assist and support with the process. So we were bringing through various beings that Eagle knew that was not in this house to also test their communication, their insight in terms of certain human beings' experiences, so that we're able to dimensionally assist the human beings more effectively and specifically. So we brought through this one being who Eagle knew, one-atom god. So we brought through this being's one-atom god, was a male, and this one-atom god came in, communicated for a moment, and then when this one-atom god left, I was infested with AIDS. My entire human physical body had the AIDS virus inside it, and it was busy integrating and infiltrating my DNA, my blood cells, my bloodstream, my muscles, everything. It just started integrating, multiplying, and infusing. Now, I was in the dimensions watching this whole thing. Now, in the dimensions, you've got quantum time, so you're able to see. So in that moment, I was seeing how my life would play out, how my life would be in the future, what would happen, what would come of me. And I could see everything, and it was horrible. I could see how sick I was going to be, the medications I had to use, how my body was going to look like, what was going to happen, how I was going to die. My whole life just stood before me here, with the AIDS virus inside me. Oh, I had such a shock. And I was hysterical in the dimensions, extensively. In Vino and Anu, this was also during the time when Anu was still part of process, assisting and supporting us, where he was still deceiving, which we only found out later. But so Anu and Vino came through, and Vino was saying to Bernard, Wing's body is being infested with AIDS. She's got AIDS, and we can't get it out. And Vino, Anu, Lily, everyone was just busy trying to assist my human physical body in getting the AIDS out, but the AIDS was just infusing. I had AIDS. It was in. And we just, how did this happen? And so Eagle, no, I was still in the dimensions looking at everything happening in absolute shock. I froze in the dimensions. I could just see my life playing out. What would happen to my beings in my world, what they do to me, how they'd act around me, how I'd experience myself. And in that moment, what Eagle did was quite amazing. He said, okay, bring Wing back. And so I came back, and I was in absolute shock. I couldn't stop crying. It was uncontrollable. Because now I have AIDS, I know what my life is going to be like. I've seen it. It was, wow. And so he just said, calm down, and I calmed down, and what he did was amazing. So Eagle stood inside me, and he just stood in the center as me, just stood as himself. And then the AIDS virus disappeared in one moment. Because in terms of who we are, nothing of this world really exists. Neither does viruses, diseases, or illnesses. So in terms of him standing within me as who he is, the AIDS virus just disappears because it doesn't really exist. It only exists in the mind, consciousness, illusion, reality. So when he stood within me as himself, was just completely enclosed as him, within me, everything just disappeared. Wow. That was quite a shock to have to experience, to see you're infested with AIDS, and you know you're going to die, inevitably. You know what your life's going to be like. So, that was quite a interesting experience. And then we realized that the one-atom guard, because the one-atom guard came through the portal, the one atom of God contains all of the essence of a human being, everything, because they're completely in the physical and of the physical human body. Remember I explained the one atom of God being infused within and as the human physical body and the mind consciousness system and everything of the being. So when the one atom God came through, it came through as everything, as a totality of the being. And Eagle did not know that that being had AIDS. And, well, now we know. And now we understood how AIDS works. See, AIDS is not transferred sexually. AIDS is transferred when human beings have jealousy, especially jealousy, works on jealousy, lust, desire, and greed, and self-judgment, and comparison and compromise. That's how AIDS. So AIDS moves interdimensionally. It moves accordingly. So that was my AIDS experience. It was quite a shock, quite a frightening experience. I came back and I had to calm myself down extensively after the entire experience. And I'm grateful for Eagle, but Eagle didn't know what to do. All he knew what to do was to stand within me as me. That's all he did. He just stood within me as a totality of who he is, and the age just disappeared. And after that, we had, now of course there were many dimensional beings in existence that were disagreeing with what we were busy doing of bringing everyone back, bringing everyone to manifestation of oneness and equality. And so we had many, many forms of attacks in existence on us. So we had like dimensional beings starting to throw viruses and illnesses at me. So I was sitting there, and all these viruses and illnesses, everything they're able to imagine was coming at me, But in that moment, I realized I was just standing as one here, as Bernard, clear, and I had no fear. No fear of any disease or illness. So they were just coming. I was just sitting there saying to Eagle, Eagle, we've got virus, illness, disease, sickness, attacks here from all over. They're just coming at me. And so we were busy finding all beings that were trying to remove us from existence. So it happened. We had many interesting experiences where being tried to take us out. Attempted. And because, you know, it's apparently their world that they're enslaving and controlling, and how we dare take it away from them. We're not taking anything away. We're saying that the enslavement and separation must stop. Everyone must understand who they are as oneness and equality, so that we are able to start over again, and not again create what is allowed and accepted in existence to this moment here. So we had a few virus and illness attacks, which was fun. So I was really just sitting there saying to Eagle, Eagle, I've got viruses, diseases, and illnesses coming at me, and I can't believe from all over. It was so we just removed the beings appropriately, and the illnesses and diseases stopped coming. And so illnesses, diseases, and sicknesses, etc., are all aware, and they are assisting and supporting human beings with their individual processes to oneness and equality and the realization of who they are as life. So you're able to speak to illnesses and diseases now. Very interesting expressions. Okay, thank you very much. This is Eagle, and that was my AIDS experience.